All right, we're back. Now I'm going to get started on our dessert. We've already got our arroz con pollo on a slow simmer over here. We got everything reset for this tasty dessert I'm going to show you how to make today. Super easy, comes together fast, and it's a real crowd pleaser, trust me. What it's called is a Piña Colada Cobbler. So kind of digging into my southern roots a little bit in the cobbler world, but going with the tropical pineapple, coconut, limey, kind of infused dessert to complement the arroz con pollo. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a stick of butter, because you got to have butter in any good dessert, right? And what I have here is this pan is just on super, super low. And what I want to do is just put the stick of butter in there while I'm getting the rest of the dish ready. And you'll see it'll just start to slowly melt along the way while we're getting ready with the rest of the dish. So I've also got this stock pot ready to go here. It's on a kind of a medium-low heat as well. And what I've got here is 4 cups of frozen pineapple. You can use fresh pineapple, you can use a mix. I go with the frozen. Today I'm going with the frozen just because, you know, when it's frozen, it's harvested, it's cut, and it's pretty much flash frozen right on the spot. So for a dish like this that's going to just bake for a long period of time and cook, I personally can't tell the difference between a fresh and a frozen on a dish like this. And for convenience, just showing you how to do it with the frozen one. So there's a lot of liquid in the bottom of this pan. We don't want to just dump it in there and get all the liquid in there. We just want to put in the pineapple with a slotted spoon, because the pineapple is going to release more liquid as it kind of starts to cook down as well. Just want to kind of do this. Get all of our little yummy pineapple bits going in there. All right. You can hear it's starting to kind of simmer a little bit. Our butter's looking good. It's already about halfway melted. It's going to be telling me pretty soon to get with it, pick up the pace. But we're doing just fine. Okay, our pineapple's in there. We got a simmer going. I'm going to turn it up a tiny little bit. And now in my bowl, I'm going to start making the batter. So the batter's super easy to make. We're going to start with 1 cup of AP flour. And I've already added in a teaspoon of baking powder and a pinch of kosher salt. So we put that in our bowl. Then we want to add 1.5 cups of just regular white sugar. And then 1 cup of half and half. And so as we pour that in, we can kind of start to slowly mix it around. This is going to make our batter. It's going to mix together really quick, you'll see. So we just kind of set that down. Don't want to stir too fast. We don't want to splash it out all over the kitchen counter here. But if we just kind of move it around, you'll see it comes together really fast. And you don't want to over mix it. You don't want to put it into some stand mixer and have it going for minutes on end. It really just needs to be just mixed. So I'm just going to kind of do this a little bit. Once we get this mixed up a little bit, I'm going to grab my vanilla. And I'm just going to eyeball this, but I'm looking for about a teaspoon of vanilla. If you like your batter more vanilla-y, add more. But that's about a teaspoon, and that's going to be plenty. Okay, so we got our pineapple going. It's just on a nice slow simmer over here. Now what I'm going to do is I've got some unsweetened coconut, and I'm going to put about 2/3 of a cup of unsweetened coconut in there. I'm going to save some because in a minute I'm going to show you how we're going to make the topping for this dessert with the rest of the coconut that I've got there. So we're going to add that in, stir it around. I'm going to bring the heat up a little bit. I'm going to start to hear it simmer. Hey, look at our butter's almost done. Come back to this, continue to mix. Now what I've got here is about 4 ounces of white rum. Just Bacardi white rum, whatever. I use an airline bottle, you know they call them. You want to pour that in there. This is why you want to start bringing the heat up. Add that bottle in there because you want to start cooking that rum off. I can smell it. I'm already smelling it. It smells like a piña colada. We got coconut, pineapple, and rum going right here in this pot. Bring the heat up. We're going to start to simmer, cook off that rum. Back to our batter. Stir that a little bit. I still see a few more pieces around the side, so I'm just going to keep working this until it goes. There's no major rush. I've got 3 things kind of happening here, all simultaneously. Timing-wise, it's all going to work out fine. All right, now I've got a good simmer going on the pineapple, which means that the alcohol in the rum is starting to cook out and just leave us with the flavor. So now I want to come in and add a tablespoon of nutmeg. Sprinkle that in there. And then I'm gonna add a half a cup of brown sugar. Oh man, the smell that just hit me in the nose when that nutmeg hit that, the heat and all the flavor I got going, and the brown sugar, oh, it smells delicious. So now you just want to stir it around, make sure all the pineapple's coated with the nutmeg, the rum, the coconut, brown sugar. As I'm turning it, I can already start to see as I lift it, some of the pieces of pineapple that were on the bottom are starting to get caramelized a little bit. And that looks good. That's, you know, what we want. So that looking good there. Our batter's looking good here. I'm gonna let this go for about another 3 to 4 minutes, and then we'll be right back. All right, we're back. It's been about 4 or 5 minutes. Our pineapple is looking really good. It's smelling delicious. It's starting to kind of reduce a little bit. By now the rum is definitely cooked off. I've got my batter. It's completely mixed. Little to no little tiny lumps. If there's a couple little ones, it doesn't really matter, but it looks really good. I'm ready to go with it. I'm ready to build this thing and get it in the oven. So next step, we've got our stick of butter that's completely melted. It's not boiling, it's just kind of sitting there because I just had it on as low as it could go. So it's just looking perfect. What I'm gonna do is move this aside. I'm gonna go ahead and move my butter pan over here. And the key to this is you wanna add your batter on top of the butter, but you don't wanna just pour it in, because if you pour it, you know, the motion of it, the momentum of it could slide butter off to the side and have it kind of uneven. So what you want to do is just kind of take a ladle and just very carefully, you know, it's going to move, the butter's shifting, but it's just more kind of a slower process of adding your batter on top of your butter. And the butter's kind of rising up around some of the edges. The whole thing's just kind of looking like a buttery, delicious, floury, battery, soon to be pineapple-y, delicious dessert. So I've got all my batter in there. You can see there's kind of some butter coming through the sides. There's a lot of batter on top. What I want to do now is bring my pineapple mixture back over, and I'm going to do the same process. Same ladle. I'm just going to kind of give it a final stir. I don't want to dump it in there. I'm just going to start setting scoops of this pineapple goodness right on top of the batter and the butter till it kind of moves around to all the different sides. Now, when I started making these, I thought it seemed a little bit counterintuitive to put your batter underneath and put all this stuff on top. You know, it's a little different than, you know, say baking a pie that you put everything in the bottom and put your pastry on top. But believe me, you'll see when this is done, the batter's gonna rise up in between all the pineapple. It's gonna make a beautiful dish. I'm kind of leaving a lot of this liquid in the bottom. I feel like we've already gotten all the flavor that we need out of the rum, the brown sugar. You know, the pineapple has some caramelization on top of it. So I'm not worried about this liquid. Plus right now it's just a lot of liquid in here already. So we're just gonna leave that. All of our ingredients did their job. And move that around a little bit. And so there you can see, it's just, you can see the butter, you can see the batter, and you can see the pineapple and coconut and everything that goes there. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna move the pan into the oven at 375 degrees for 45 minutes. All right. Welcome back. We've got our arroz con pollo and fried plantains plated. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you this Piña Colada Cobbler that we threw in the oven a while ago. Couldn't be happier with the way it looked. Nice and brown crust, as I mentioned earlier, kind of rose up and above the pineapple, but still you can see some pineapple and coconut woven through there. Some of the coconut even got a little toasty in there. So what I'm going to do is just kind of make a little slice. And as I scoop it, you'll see there's pineapple, coconut, crust, everything just all together in there, just perfectly mixed, cooked. It's crispy on the bottom, which is exactly the way it should be. Put that in my bowl. No good cobbler is any good without what? Ice cream. So today I've actually got a frozen yogurt. It's just a vanilla frozen yogurt. You can use vanilla bean ice cream, gelato, any type of flavor you want. You could even stray away from vanilla if you want, but I prefer to kind of let the cobbler speak for itself. I throw a little bit of vanilla in there though, like that. And then earlier while this was going, I took some of that extra coconut and just toasted it off real quick in a pan on the stove. So you've just got a nice little toasted coconut as well to go on top. And I just sprinkle a little bit of that over the top of our frozen yogurt and our dessert. And that's it. That's a Piña Colada Cobbler with ice cream and toasted coconut.